I just wanted to add something to the cult discussion because I knew I was going to have more to say. Something that's unique to the beef sector that I have never seen anywhere else, either on YouTube or in real life with, regular cults, is that, most cults, it's a extreme devotion to something. You're very pro something. But in the beef sector, the people unite in hate. You have a shared hate of something that seems just as strong as this shared devotion that other people may have to someone. Usually you all get together and you hate somebody and, probably their group too. And, it's just as much fanaticism on the hate side as the love side. So, if you're on the pro side and your devotion seems to waver or you have the appearance of being too skeptical, they're going to look at you funny and maybe even call you a troll or whatever. The same thing happens on the other side. So you're all hating somebody and, you all, that bands you together and you all feel warm and fuzzy in your hate. If anybody shows any sort of understanding towards the person that you hate, or on a particular subject you agree with the person that you all hate, you're going to get eaten up just as fast as on the other side. I don't know if it's an equal and opposite reaction. I can't say which one's more fanatical or whatever. That's a value judgment that I don't know enough to make that judgment. But they're very strong on both ends. And I don't know, I just think that's really interesting. Because, there's no anti-church. You're a church of Christ, or, you all love Allah, whatever. You all sort of band together for something. That's usually what cults do. I don't know of any cults that are, we all hate asparagus. There isn't a cult of anti something. Not to say that churches or whatever aren't very anti certain things, but there isn't. I can't think of an organization that was specifically a cult that was specifically organized to be against something. That's something I only see in the beef sector. And like I said, the hate can require just as much energy and time and devotion as the loving of someone can. Also on the subject of cults, I ran screaming from what I was concerned was turning into a cult situation, although I was probably being paranoid. But I was on a different social media platform, and much to my surprise, I got a pretty decent following. And what was so funny to me is that I guess when you reach a certain point, when you get to a certain level, they started asking me, well, what's our name? And I'm like, what do you mean? What's our name? They're like, well, what are we going to call ourselves? Like there was some sort of understanding when you get enough people together, you all have to have a new name. And I was supposed to be the one to name us. And so I avoided that. I said, oh no, Mr. Griffin. I was like, no, I'm not interested. And I just never did. I whenever it was brought up, I would change the subject. I just didn't want the appearance of cultiness. And I know I'm being overly sensitive about it, but I don't know, that kind of freaked me out. But at the same time, it was very alluring. I think that might be kind of why I ran screaming from it, because it seemed very alluring. There was something nice about having the power to name a bunch of people who somehow form this identity around liking me. I mean, what's not to like about that? But the saying absolute power corrupts, absolutely, that scared me away. But yeah, hell yeah, I wanted to, people would ask for my Amazon wish list. I didn't even have one, but I sure wanted to make one. But no, I said, no, that's okay. People ask for Venmo, Cash App or whatever. And I said, no, that's okay. And so I never gave it out. And I wanted to. Why wouldn't I? But, I managed to avoid the temptation. And I don't know. Maybe, I say that, but, maybe 6 months from now, I'll change my mind, at which point you can, scold me for being a hypocrite. I mean, obviously, there's no temptation now because there's nobody around. No one's offering me anything. So it's easy to say no now. Later on, and that's making a big assumption that anyone would be interested in that later on. But, let's say something happens and people start offering me stuff. The temptation obviously would be greater. There's more at stake there. So I don't know, I might change my mind. And, obviously, if you devote a lot of attention or a lot of your energy and time to something, you do want to be compensated. And I could definitely see the people who show their faces and put themselves out there for scrutiny and stuff. I mean, why wouldn't they want to be compensated for it? And, YouTube isn't here for charity. Yeah, I'm saying I'm here for self-expression and stuff, but yeah, it's also a method of making money. And why shouldn't one be compensated for their creativity and self-expression? I think that's the way it should be. But yeah, I'm concerned about the appearance of impropriety, and I'm sure, if anyone pays any attention to me, I will be questioned about all sorts of things, and I don't want to add money to that list of questioning. So I would rather not. Thank you very much.